Good evening, everybody. I'm Charles Currier from the Stanley News and Press, and this is the Pfeiffer Men's Basketball Coach Show, and we were here with the head coach of the Pfeiffer Falcons, Jeremy Currier. Coach, let's talk a little bit about last three games that you got. You're 3-3 now and 1-0 in the conference, and had some good games and then some others. We won't try to get to all of it right now. First, let's talk about Winston-Salem State. What jumps out at you when you look at the box score of this one is just the Winston-Salem State went so deep in their bench, 45-22 as far as bench points go. What were your observations about that game?
Well, I think Winston-Salem is right now the best team we've played. They were Division I last year. They had 4 starters back from a Division I team that won 12 games. They started 6-11 and 6-10 in the game, so they had Division I size. It was a challenge for all of our guys. Chris Woods was coming off averaging about 30 points a game, and he only had about 9 points that game. So they were big, athletic. We did not match up well with them, but it was a real test. And when we put this schedule together, we wanted to play the best teams out there, and I think Winston-Salem, who is now in the top 25 in the country, is definitely one of them.
45-41, though, they only out-rebounded you by 4. But so despite the size, we've talked about before, rebounding is not about size as much as it is about effort. And you guys still gave a great effort on the boards in that game.
Yeah, yep, our guards continued to rebound. Davon Gilliard had 8 rebounds in that game. Chris rebounded the ball well. He had 8. We took a dip offensive rebounding in the first half, but we fired it back up in the second half. And with our size, and we know we're trying to mask a lot of undersized players, so rebounding is big for us moving forward.
And then, of course, obviously you guys played Catawba November 21st up at Salisbury, Goodman Gym. Talk a little bit about that particular game. Catawba for the game shot 51%, you guys shot 45%. What were your thoughts about that game?
I think, Chris Woods had 36 points, 18 rebounds, best game of his career, best game we've had here in some time as a program. We went into halftime with the lead, and we got away from what we wanted to do defensively. They scored 55 points in 20 minutes. Yeah. We're only giving up 75 points a game defensively, so 55 and 20 was tough. And we didn't adapt to some tight whistles. We committed 21 fouls in the second half, which is it's a hard thing to do.
Let's see, the final score, 97-86. Even in amongst that, you guys several times in the first half kept the game close. You went on a 29 run midway through that half to take had actually led 35-34 at one point. So you guys really were playing very well in that first half of that game.
Yeah, we did. We took care of the ball. We got stops. And
cut it to even 1 point late in the game, 8 minutes left. Woods hit a jumper.
Yeah, and again, it goes back to our schedule. We're trying to play the best teams. Catawba's been the NCAA 4 years in a row. It was a tournament game, and it was the first time for a lot of our guys to be in that type of setting. We turned it over late and didn't get the stops we needed. Compounded with some tough whistles, and
rebounded them 43-33 too, though.
Yep, and a big part was Chris with 18 rebounds.
Now the game I'm curious about is this game that you guys won against Erskine. You don't see 45 go up as a final score for teams in college basketball a lot. Final, you guys beat them 70-45. What happened in that first half?
I think it was the best job our guys have done executing our game plan. They have a talented freshman point guard, Deshaun Hall. Javonte Eford, a senior guard for us, really took him out of the flow of things. And they came out, they were up 6-0 to start the game.
Hit 2 of their first 3 shots.
In the first 2 minutes of the game, proceeded to score 11 points in the last 18 minutes. Our guys did a great job of one and done. We rebounded the ball well. We had 9 guys score for us in that game. We shared the ball well, and it was really the best game that we've played as a group.
Big contribution off the bench. Josh Humphrey with 19, Hollinger with 16. How important is it for you to not just get big numbers from Chris Woods and Jeff Pettaway and your starters, but how important is it to get those points off the bench?
I think it's very important. We talk about Reggie and Josh being the X factor. When they show up and give us that type of effort, not only point-wise but rebounding-wise, we're pretty tough. And for us to take it to the next level, we need them to perform night in, night out.
And Erskine's not an easy place to play. It's a long trip, obviously, 4-hour trip down there as well.
Yeah.
And I've been to games at Erskine, and they have a great home environment. How did y'all handle that?
I think, we're just coming off a 3-game losing streak, and our guys had had the focus that we needed. Last year we went out there, we were down by 21 at halftime. This year we came out and a little nervous when they hit their first 2 threes, but then you could see our guys were committed to the game plan. We shot the ball better, we shared it better, and you just knew going into the second half that we were in a good place.
Yeah, they only shot 26% in the first half, 7 of 27, and finished the game 32.7. You guys finished 43.9%, so obviously a big disparity there offensively.
Yeah. Yep, and it just goes to show, what we're capable of. One game we give up 55 points in the second half. The next game we hold the team to 45 in 40 minutes. So, we can stop people. We need to continue to improve rebounding-wise and containing, the perimeter a little bit better. But
are those the biggest concerns, do you think, right now?
Yeah, again, we're just so undersized, and we rely so heavily on our guards to rebound it. And we have to hit a home run on our effort, rebounding-wise, every night. For all of these games, we've played 5 of 6 on the road with a lot of new faces, and we're undersized, and we're in there fighting, but our back's against the wall every night.
It really has been a tough schedule for you guys, and you go back on the road again this week, going to Lees McRae. Another conference game. What do you anticipate in that matchup with the Bobcats?
It's going to be a tough game. They're 3-2. Just had a tough game last night against Brevard, who's a good team. They shoot the ball well. They've got a good interior. And again, it's one of the more difficult places in the Conference Carolinas to play. It's again a long drive. We've traditionally been either very hot or very cold there, so we're looking for a similar effort that we had out at Due West at Erskine.
Is it more about trying to find consistency, do you think, now, just to get that consistent effort every night?
Yeah, I mean, we're young. Even our upperclassmen, we're learning a new system, learning how to play together.
Sure.
I don't think this thing's going to be, we're a long ways away from perfect. But we talk about we're running a marathon, not sprinting.
Absolutely.
So we continue to get better. We've proven we can stop very good teams on the road. We've been in tournament settings and tournament teams, so I think it's going to better suit us in league play. And
you have one home game on the 14th against Livingstone. It's just the guys that night at 6 o'clock. Yep. What do you anticipate in that game?
Well, Livingstone's very good. They're very big, athletic. They were up by 17 the second half against us. Our guys fought back, showed a lot of resilience, and came roaring back to win by 2. Made plays down the stretch, so it's going to be a great game. And
so
they're very good.
Do you feel like they're going to be coming in, since they lost that lead,
yeah.
really that something to prove mentality?
Yep. I think they left that night saying, wondering what happened, and we didn't play better than them. I think we just wanted it, and we had that attitude. We weren't leaving that gym with a loss.
Coach, thanks you very much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're here on the Pfeiffer Men's Basketball Show, and we're here with Jeff Pettaway, senior point guard for the Falcons. Jeff, thanks for joining us. Tell us a little bit about what's happened so far this season. You guys are 3-3. What have you seen out there on the court?
Well, it's been some good times, some bad times. But I think we got a lot of potential. The games we were able to put everything together, we've been successful. And the games we had lapses, you kind of see the results from that.
You guys have had some close games, some tough games, but you've had good rallies, like against Livingstone, the huge rally there. Talk a little bit about that. What kind of character does this team have, do you think, to be able to have that kind of adversity and come back in a game like that?
I think it showed with a lot of new guys, and even the old guys we had. Nobody was willing to lay down. We were always going to fight to the end of every game. We showed that in most games too, but just the outcome was too much to bear from the first half usually. But I don't think our guys are ever willing to give up. We fight hard. We got a lot of heart on this team.
Well, and you go into so many games undersized, really, and that's just an honest way to put it. But yet you're still out rebounding people. You out rebounded Catawba 43-33. How does that happen?
Well, I think my teams have always been undersized here, but especially this year we put a big emphasis on rebounding. We even had practices where all we did was rebounding drills. So I mean, the coaches show us how important it is, and I think the guys realize that without it we won't win any game. So,
how are things different now with your new head coach, with Coach Currier?
Well, there's a lot of things different. Him and Coach Davis are pretty different as head coaches, but I think that the things he's done are different but still good. Keeps a lot of guys interested and willing to play, wanting to play. So I mean, it's different but good for everybody.
And he brings a lot of energy to the bench. We see that.
Yes, definitely. He's probably the biggest cheerleader on the sideline, along with coaching. But
that's
we need
great.
that, and hopefully the guys on the bench see that and want to partake.
You and Chris obviously are two of the main components of this team. What is your role? What do you think? What are your roles, on this team?
Well, I think mainly it's just leadership. I think a lot of the guys, since we got a lot of new guys, they look up to us, see what we're doing, how we handle situations. So, I mean, the best we can do is lead them. All the statistics and stuff really doesn't matter.
Jeff, when you talk about being a role model for the younger guys and that leadership, what do you do? What kind of things do you have to do to show them, what Pfeiffer basketball is all about?
Really, I think we just got to show them what hard work is, not just time with the coaches, but time in the gym alone with just us, the players. Also, our attitudes towards different situations, got to stay positive. Get on them, but still let them know what they got to do better.
So it's not just anything on the court, whether it's practice or a game. There's a lot more to it then.
Yeah, they'll follow you regardless of off the court if it's good or bad. So you want to lead them in the right direction.
Absolutely. Talk about real quickly about your time here at Pfeiffer. What's it been like to be a Pfeiffer basketball player?
Well, it's really unexpected. I never knew I would end up here, let alone stay in 4 years. But it's been a good experience. There's a lot of tradition here, and I was glad to be a part of it.
Jeff, thank you very much for taking some time and talking to us. Well, Coach, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it, and best of luck to you guys, and happy holidays as well.
Thank you, you too.
For everybody here at Pfeiffer, I'm Charles Curcier from the Stanley News and Press. We appreciate your time, folks. We'll see you next time on the Jeremy Currier Pfeiffer Men's Basketball Show. See you later.